Alright guys, I'm seeing way too many videos centering around this whole idea of flyouts going wrong. I'm seeing way too many videos on YouTube about flyouts gone wrong. What is with the jank flyout group on the internet complaining about a working class type guy flying you out? Why are people excited about jank flyouts? I don't understand. Why would you even accept that kind of invitation? Why are we downgrading ourselves as women by being excited when it comes to the second hand or second cut rate flyout? I almost spit out my drink just listening to some of this. Some woman was talking about being flown out on Southwest Airlines. Why would you even pack a bag for that? If you are a 304, at least you should be a real 304. Why are we doing generic flyouts with fake 304s? That's a fake 304, kids. Number one, a woman who's top tier would not accept that. If you're going to do that, and I am not a proponent for any of this, I am not condoning the behavior, but I'm saying, y'all are my entertainment. Why are y'all going to go fly out for a man who's working class in another city? You may as well just find a guy in your own city. Accept the fact that you are not Rihanna or Brandy or even, Ice Spice or any of these women who are famous, for doing whatever they do in entertainment, or just like a person who's a personality. So you're not any of these Sawitis, or why are you accepting just to look like you're being flown out dates from men in other cities who are equivalent to the UPS workers in your own town? You may as well just get one of those and just accept it and drive across town to see him. Make him pay for your gas. Because you're only getting on planes and going to dirty houses with dogs jumping over you. This one girl told this whole story. I was falling over on the floor. And you're mad because some working class man didn't arrange a car for you. This is, first of all, he flew you out on Southwest. I own Southwest. I'm the heiress to Southwest. It is a nice airline if you just want a budget flight. That doesn't go together with being flown out. You all are taking this flown out thing too far. Like, you're barely on the airplane. You're holding on to a wing. Like, that's the equivalent of your fly out. You're like in the worst seats and you're like, yeah, I was flown out. Why? You may as well just date somebody in your own city to save yourself the trouble. Then when you get to the place you're going, you eat at cheap restaurants. You may as well just stay in the city you're in and just get fast food there. And then you end up leaving 8 hours later because you're disappointed that a working class guy doesn't treat you like Jay-Z. So I'm just saying, Wood. What did you expect, though? Just stay home. Stay home. Date the men in your own city. You're not being flown out by Offset or something. So I'm just saying, you're not being flown out by, say, Drake, Drizzy, Wayne, they call it. Like, you all are just settling for flyouts on a very low level. I'm not a 304, I'm an heiress. If you don't have a first class ticket, or you're not bumped up when you get to the airport, you don't have car service arranged for you. Look, I was flying to New York in 2009-10. Y'all know it's the stuff of legend. I used to fly myself business class or first class a lot, and I was bumped up because I'm the owner of United. Okay, they would bump me up and give me free giant cookies and such. I'm sitting next to people who look like the owner of the Patriots, and I didn't even know who he was back then, but I think I rode a flight sitting next to him. I think I was on a flight, rode a flight. I think I was on a flight and this guy was on it. So, okay, this was back in 2010. So, okay, I'm not a 304, I'm an heiress. I'm old money, but I am an actor and I'm a part of the entertainment industry, so I can act new money too. So, okay, the point is being flown out. I used to fly myself places to meet some guy I knew in New York City who was from New Jersey. And no, he's not a short man from Oakland who couldn't afford to do any of this anyway. So I would fly myself, and I stayed in some of the better hotels, 4-star hotels. Once everything was booked, and I stayed in a 3-star hotel. I thought I was going to die. So, okay, I'm very spoiled, and I spoil myself. My mother has spoiled me terribly. I'm privileged, and I don't understand getting on cheap airlines. And I own Southwest. I'm an heiress. I wouldn't go anywhere booked on if it's not a private jet, because now I can't even fly commercial. I have to have a private jet. And it has to be not the kind that killed Aaliyah. Like, we have to have a reputable company that's known to fly celebrities. Seriously, we can't have people with drugs in their system crashing my plane saying I had too many shoes on there or something. Like, no. Okay, so we have to have a reputable private jet situation. If I'm, by the off chance that I'm going to fly first class, which I can't ride with the actual public anymore because of the fact that so many people know me, I would turn down any invitation to be flown out in any situation where there's no private jet. I have to have a private jet. I'm that famous. I'm not being Kanye. It's clear. You have very low standards for being flown out. I'm disappointed in you all. Why would you accept an invitation to be flown out on Southwest Airlines and you consider this something to brag about on the internet? I think, well, of course this is going to go badly, because if you have champagne and caviar taste and you're on Southwest to begin with as a flyout, you should be flying yourself then. So you can justify, well, yeah, I'm on a budget and this guy isn't worth much anyway, so I just flew, because I know it ain't going to go well. So that's how and then you end up going to that's how you should see it. Then you're going to go and have a horrible time because you're mad you're on janky ass Southwest. No offense, Southwest, but it's janky for dates and flyouts. You need a United. Look, I once flew. I'm gonna give you a little information. I once had a birthday trip booked in the last minute, and I was pissed off because he hadn't planned anything. And somebody else was working through him, but I had a flight booked within an hour, and the flight was like $1,000, and that was 2005. Okay, so I don't go, and I stayed in a hotel in Manhattan, and I turned around the next day and came back. So why? Because I'm an heiress, and I was on United with $1,000 ticket. So if it's not, and that was 2005. Now it's private jets for me, and I'm an heiress, not a 304. Girls, please take note. Please take note. No more janky flyouts. Just stay home. Stay home. Stay home. Date the guys that are available to you there. Don't give yourself strokes trying to play celebrity-like lives, because that's the problem on the internet. Any old man that you meet in Miami or someplace who really doesn't have the money, he's just on vacation, you need to understand a few things. You need to FaceTime with a guy first and get to know what his life is like. If he's always available, he's sitting in a house that looks janky. Your idea of a good house, I don't know what that is. Ask for the outside of the house. Ask for him to, let me see what your house looks like. Yeah, I'll give you a tour of mine. Let me see what yours looks like. Don't give him a tour of the inside, but the outside. Let me see what your neighborhood looks like. Yeah, because, I take it seriously before I go anywhere with anybody. You could be sitting inside of the projects in a nice house. So you all don't do the right things here. You need to ask the right questions. You should want to know what kind of vehicle he has, in case you have to call the FBI and have him arrested. You don't even have the license plates. You all are going far. When you meet people on vacation, then decide to let them fly you to their town. You don't know enough about him. He could be a serial killer living in the projects or out of his car. You could just be about to be kidnapped. This whole fly out thing is going too far. Girls, where are your minds? Where are your heads at? Every guy you meet, just because he wants to fly you out, doesn't mean he has any money. He could be Jeffrey Dahmer, dummies. Come on, wake the fuck up. Start thinking it through. You need to do background checks. You need to look at his Instagram, watch his Facebook, see where this fool really lives. He can live in the zoo for all you know. Stop with the janky ass flyouts. Thank you. Bye.